Well, we are at chapter 5. I hope you're all enjoying and listening. The boys now had to figure out how and why the Emperor's kids were dressed and acting as slaves in their parents' bed. The Emperor, my dad, did come in the room and confirmed my identity as best as he could. Even though he did, I freaked, which got Jeremiah all upset. Energy level grew with our intense emotions to the point all the crystal lights glowed the brightest anyone ever saw. They in fact thought they were going to blow because all the mirrors in the suite shattered with an audible hum. Finally it stopped when the Emperor begged everyone to stop caring how we got here and the soldiers put cloaks on over their armor. Two guys slowly approached, making motions for us to calm but I let go of the moment. In a visible swirl of colors, everyone was back to where I was last. That place was where all the missing children of the Emperor's realm were being held by the now dead royal kidnappers. Nearly an entire realm full of people had once been kidnapped from other realms. Now that the full brigade of soldiers looked around, they saw their kids. However, it was the children who ran up to their parents in excited reunions. I sat by the window and listened as things shifted to come back together. Majority of people had stepped out of the room only to come back in differently once again. Main difference was how they were dressed in modern clothes. There was other modern items around, but each one was either broken or old. The place wasn't filthy or anything terribly bad, but then again, that was where the observers and visitors could see. Word was sent around for a complete search of the palace estate. I looked at the doorway and watched this one man they called Michael give out orders as they realized who we were. This place used to be a hotel, however. It's more like a trap. The vast majority of kids we saw belonged to the orphanage estate school campus next door. And these two in the room came with the top secret and dangerous warning labels. It didn't take long for them to discover the reasons for that. All it took was one step in the room with a visible weapon. We had been both taught to fight, and as magical-minded teenagers, we were bent on defending the room we claimed. One of the other kids said that was the boss's room until the kids got back from fighting training one day and went bonkers. No one can quite say why, but they were terrified of pissing the two off. One kid said the last one to get near them was an angel. Sadly, anyone that looks or even seems like their abusers can't go near them, and they'll only eat the food brought to them if they see you eating it too. That's all anyone will say about them. The Michael man called two men called Jeremiah and Ragul in the room and sent the others out. Upon slowly entering and looking around the other rooms in the suite, they discovered two admirals in a room with two long dead bodies on a bed. One man was trying his best to convince the other extremely distraught man, he called Sean, to leave the long dead bodies of his parents alone. They eventually came out to help us deal because we were attacking our family. Two of us began screaming unintelligibly and throwing objects we manifested magically. All it took was for Sean to grow angrily in a very vibrational way, and then I, in turn, had to stop Jeremiah. Then they saw what we'd been aiming at. The Queen Master Lady that had been abusing us. She lay dead on the floor with knives and throwing stars. In a literal flash, we were in a different and much nicer room altogether. Sean had to explain to us why we had been teleported out. There was a bomb in our room that was about to go off. Killing the Queen set off the timer, apparently. Jeremiah and I felt so used, and yet they also said that we didn't throw any weapons. The cloaked woman behind us did. She laughed madly before teleporting out just before we left. They knew exactly who she was. On one hand, I was disappointed. I knew deep down she didn't realize there was a bomb as well.